What's up, you guys? Welcome back. Today we have a kind of chill, chatty video. It's going to be my second ever declutter. You heard me right. I just did a declutter, I think in November, and now it's January and I'm ready to refresh. This is going to kind of be like a New Year's refresh. Get rid of the extra junk, declutter. I'm just feeling really motivated and goal-oriented. It's very unlike me this New Year season. I don't know what's came over me, but I just want to declutter some more crap because I'm trying to use up beauty products that I really like, and I want to get the expired ones and the ones I don't like out of my collection and into the hands of other people who will like them before they do expire. You know what I mean? So let's just get into the video. I forgot to mention before we get into it, if this is your first video here, my name is Erin. I am a full-time nurse living in the Midwest, but I love to create content all about beauty, skincare, hair care, lifestyle, really anything in that realm, and we like to keep it casual, relatable. And yeah, if that's something that interests you, definitely hit the little post notification bell. I would love to have you, and now let's just get into the declutter. So this is the second declutter I'm posting on my channel. I definitely was very anti-declutter for a long time. I'm not like a project panner, but lately something has been coming over me where I really want a collection where I know every product, I know I like every product, and so I can easily know what I have and want to use everything I have rather than just mediocre products that I don't really like in my collection or expired products, what have you. So we have mostly makeup, a little bit of skincare-ish type products, and actually a few brushes as well, because my brush holders have been getting overflowed and I knew there was a couple I wasn't really using, so I wanted to get those out of there as well. Alright, let's start with base products. Just a forewarning that a few of these products I'm decluttering because I noticed that they were expired, so sorry if they are kind of nasty, but we all know what makeup looks like when it expires and it ain't pretty. Starting with these Becca, what is this called? The Aqua Luminous Perfecting Foundation. I have two shades of this, light and medium. These have totally separated. It's absolutely nasty. I love this foundation. I love the packaging. I love the frosted glass. But Becca is no more, and I got these at the beginning of my kind of social media makeup tutorial journey. And they're so old, and it disgusts me to even look at them anymore, so we are getting them out of my collection. I'm sad that they expired, but also, you know, Becca's not making this anymore. Becca is no longer, so I can't recommend this to you guys anyways. So yeah, these need to go. A primer I really thought I loved and then kind of changed my mind on is the Cover FX Gripping Primer. The last time I used this, it just pilled and it didn't really play well with the other products I used, and I'm realizing that I don't really go for this kind of grippy primer anymore. I mainly go for hydrating my skin, putting some glow under my makeup, as well as maybe filling in my pores and smoothing my skin a little bit. If I want something a little bit grippy, I definitely reach for the Laneige Glowy Makeup Serum. This is a more hydrating grippy primer that plays better with other base products than the gripping primer does, and this was very hyped up for a long time and I just changed my mind on it. I don't really like it anymore. This Milani Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealer in the shade 115 Light Nude. I haven't worn this in forever, and mainly because this is just, it smells like paint. I hate it. I hate the smell. It's hard to blend. It's too full coverage for me, or maybe it's just too paint smelling for me, and I've used quite a bit of it. It's maybe half gone, but I don't reach for this anymore. I think I thought I really liked this when I first got it, but again, a product I just don't really use anymore. A sad declutter because it expired, because sometimes I really like a product and because of that I choose not to use it because I don't want it to be gone. Well, I don't even want to show you this up close. This is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Mist. I've used half of this, and you can see it is discolored, it is nasty, it's got nasty things floating in there. This was actually my favorite face mist of 2020, and then I just never really used it. And I think it's nice for hydrating, but it didn't really do anything beyond that. I think I like the experience of using it the most. Well, now the experience is gone because it is disgusting. I should have used it. That's one of my goals for the next year, is to not set aside products I like because I don't want them to be gone. It's to use the nice products that I like in my collection right away so I can, so this doesn't happen. Let's switch it up and talk about a few brushes I'm decluttering. So I have 6 brushes that I just never reached for, and I have like big glass containers that I keep. I have 2 of them that I keep like my bigger brushes and then my eye brushes and smaller brushes in, and those are very, very full. So I needed to get rid of some brushes, and there's definitely some I don't use. This first one is from EcoTools. It doesn't even have a name on it. It's one of the first brushes I ever had. I've had this for maybe 10 years, honestly. And it's just okay. I just have bronzer and powder brushes I like more at this point. It's old, it's worn out, it's kind of rough. Yeah, this has just seen better days. I love this brush for so many years. I've gotten my money's worth out of it, and yeah. And this is like the old wooden EcoTools packaging, if anyone remembers that. Yeah. Then I have a brush that I got from BoxyCharm. It just says BoxyCharm on it. This is like a paddle looking foundation brush. They sent a whole line of brushes that kind of look like this. I should probably get rid of them all, honestly. I don't really use any of them, maybe the medium sized one for bronzer a little bit, but this is just too big and too awkwardly shaped. I never ever use it for foundation. Another brush I got in BoxyCharm, I believe. It's a Moda brush. This does not say what it is, but I think it's supposed to be a highlight brush. This is just too flimsy. Even for very pigmented highlighters, I feel like I don't get enough application to my face, and it doesn't give me any pressure. I never reach for this, and it's just taking up room. 2 of the same kind of brush I never ever use. The first is from Wet n Wild. It's the P50, and the other one is from Real Techniques. It doesn't have a name on it. But they're both like very sharp contour brushes. I just don't have a use for these in the way I apply my makeup. I don't ever apply my contour like that. I usually use a little bit more soft application instead of this stark line, and yeah, I literally never use these. And then the last one is an eye brush from Wet n Wild. It's the P25. It came in the same set as the kind of contour brush. This is just, let me see if I can show you. This is just really awkwardly shaped. It's not round. It's kind of like moon shaped right here. And I think it's supposed to be an eye brush. It doesn't really say, but like I never reach for it because it's so flat and it's not even round all the way. It's a little dense, and maybe it'd work for concealer, but I never use this. An eyeliner that I am sadly decluttering. I liked this so much, and I still do like the application of this. It's the Balm Schwing liner. It's just their black liquid liner. So this is a little different than the typical liquid liner because it comes with a brush tip that you take out, and I love how this applies. It's super black, super easy to apply, but the problem with this is it's not in the least bit waterproof. Any tears are eye-watering, and this just runs everywhere. I wish it was more long-wearing because I love the application of this. But even for like a couple hours of filming, my eyes are too like oily and watery, and this just runs everywhere on me. So yeah, I'm gonna get rid of it because I have so many liners in my collection. I have a couple blush and highlighter products that I am decluttering. The first is a formula I love, just the shade I don't. It's from MAC. It is the Glow Play Blush in the shade Cheeky Devil. This is just an extremely fair blush, and I'm a fair to light skin tone, and with building it up with my typical brushes, it does not show up on me, and I really wanted to keep this because I found it for a deal at TJ Maxx, but I ended up finding 2 colors that I like a lot better. So natural. If you've watched any of my videos or my 2021 favorites, you know that this is a holy grail formula and shade for me, and I also really enjoy Rosie Does It. It's more of like a berry bitten winter cheek. I need to use this one more, but since I have these 2, and I really haven't reached for this since I first got it because it really just doesn't show up on my skin, and I really don't know who it would unless you're like the palest of the pale. Maybe you would like this. I recently used this highlighter just to kind of test it out because I hadn't really used it much since I got it, to see if I still like it, and it's a pretty highlight, but I think I'm realizing that I am more picky than I used to be with my highlight formulas. I think it's just me having more specific preferences, and I'm aging as well, so at 30 years old, I don't like a super obvious metallic highlight anymore. This one is pretty. It's from Real Her. It's the Confidence in My Glow highlighter. I think Confidence in My Glow is the shade, but it's a really pretty like golden shade. I've probably used it 3 times, but I wore it the other day and it's a little too golden and metallic for me. I like so many other highlights more, and more liquid and cream highlights more than anything. And I'd rather give this to somebody. I know so many friends that would really love this highlight, so I'm going to declutter it. The next is another holy grail product for me. I've gotten a lot of use out of this. It's one of the first PR items I ever received, and it's from Kosas. I don't even want to show you this up close because it's gross. It's totally expired. It's got stuff growing all over it. It's the 8th Muse Color and Light Cream. This is some of my favorite cream formulas for blush and highlight I've ever used. I've panned both of these and they lasted much longer than, oh, it says 18 months. I probably had this for 2 or 3 years. Used the crap out of it. I would continue to use it if it didn't look moldy, but I will definitely get another duo in the future, but I'm going to challenge myself to use up some other products first. I really want to try the Velvet Melon Cream Duo because that's like a peachy duo, and that's kind of been my thing lately. I am sad this expired, but I'm glad that I got a lot of use out of it. A declutter that I'm kind of sad because I love this brand. I love the experience of the packaging of this brand, and I actually just took it out of my everyday makeup bag because every time I use it, I'm like, I just don't like this. It's the Natasha Denona Bloom Blush and Glow palette. I was so excited to receive this in like, I believe a BoxyCharm premium box way back when I was getting BoxyCharm. I was excited that Natasha Denona was in there. I was just getting into cream products. These are some of the first cream blushes and highlights I ever owned. There's just really not a formula in this palette that I like, to be honest. This is the cream blush, and it's very metallic, maroon, holiday. I just feel a little clownish every time I blend it on my cheeks, even if I just use the smallest amount. And then the other cream is called the Glow, which is this light pink. And it's pretty, but it's like not deep enough to be a blush on me, and it's like too deep to be a highlight, so I'm really not sure where to put it because it is so pink. And then there are 2 powder options here. There's the glowy blush topper and then the Glow Extreme. The blush topper is just really metallic, peachy golden. I don't like it on me. And then the Glow Extreme is probably my favorite. It is a pretty highlight, but ultimately I still see huge flakes of sparkle on my cheek when I wear it, and I think I'm past liking that. I really tried to make this work because it's a nice product, and I love Natasha Denona eyeshadows. These are the only cheek products I own from her, and these shades and formulas are just not my preference. Maybe someone else in my life will like this, but yeah, I just don't like this. I also have a couple eyeshadow palettes that I'm decluttering. The first is from Milani. I don't believe they make this anymore. It is the, I don't even know what this is called. Oh, Gilded Ember palette. Here's what the palette looks like. It has some warm tones and some highlights. Ultimately, I don't like the formula of these shadows. I like the Most Love Mattes palette a lot better. The shimmers were meh, and the highlights are way too sparkly and metallic for me, so I'm going to pass this along. The next is one that I think I received in BoxyCharm. Again, it's the Robin Hood palette from Storybook Cosmetics. I like the colors in this. They're probably some of the only greens I have, which is what made me hold on to it, but ultimately this is just so bulky. It drives me absolutely insane. I just can't justify this. I've probably used it once or twice in the past couple of years, and I don't need it taking up room in my collection anymore. Next, I have this palette from NYX. It's the Sugar High palette. I picked this up because I saw Kathleen Lights use it, and I really like the idea of this palette. The colors are really pretty, but there's like mattes, really slight shimmers, and then what's supposed to be glitters. These just don't have enough like pigmentation, especially in this middle row. The shimmers, I just find that they're really, I really have to build them up to make them look good, and I think that somebody else might enjoy this palette more than me. The next is from Real Her. It's the Make It Happen eyeshadow palette. I've used this once or twice. It barely looks used, and I hate to have palettes sitting in my collection that I'm not getting use out of, especially that have barely been touched by me. I have a lot of people in my life who would enjoy this palette, and it's not bad. I remember liking it. I never reach for it. I am proud of myself because I'm decluttering a couple lip products. The first are all these mini liquid lips from Stila. These are old and I barely wear liquid lips anymore. I'm really picky about the formula. These are kind of drying, and these shades I just don't reach for. This one's too nude. This is the shade Sagno. I don't know what that means. And then this one is too purple. It's the shade Chianti. And then this one is hot pink. It's the shade Aria. And this is red. It's the shade Rubino. These two are fine, but I just have other pinks and reds I like better that aren't as drying. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter those, especially because they're old. This gloss from Dominique Cosmetics, it's like the lemonade, I think, line lip gloss. This is a shade Peach Tea. I think this is expired. Yeah, it smells kind of vinegary, and I've used it a ton. I got this in BoxyCharm. This is a gloss that I really loved for a long time, and I have gotten good use out of this, but it's seen better days. The next one is another product I kind of changed my mind on, just don't really like anymore. It's the Alamar Cosmetics Desnudas gloss in the shade Dulce. I just hear Kathleen Lights in my head when I say that. It is just really nude and really thick and sticky, and I do like a thick gloss, but I don't like it to be super sticky. I like it to kind of feel comfortable on the lips, and this is it's just too thick and sticky for me, and yeah, it's just not my preference anymore. And then the last things I have here are actually a couple self-tanning products. The first is from Saint Tropez. It's the Gradual Tan and Shower. You can see this is nasty. It's been sitting in my shower for a long time. I did not buy this. I think my mother-in-law gave it to me. She didn't really like it. And it's not that I don't like it. It's just that I don't have time to take a shower and then stand there and freeze my ass off and wait 3 to 5 minutes and then rinse it. I would rather apply something that I can leave on. I don't know, it's way too cold in Wisconsin, especially this time of year, to turn off the shower and apply this and wait 5 minutes. I will freeze my ass off. So yeah, this just the whole system of this is just a no. And then two other self-tan products. These are from Kula. They're kind of some of the first self-tanners that I owned. I like the tanning water from I Love Paradise better. I like to use a mousse a lot better. The Loving Tan and the Ulta Beauty ones are amazing. And I'm also loving the Josie Marin. It's like their gradual self-tanning oil. That one's really good as well. But these are just old and I don't reach for them anymore because they're nasty. But that's it, you guys. That is my New Year's refresh declutter. It feels good to get some more old, expired products out of my collection, as well as get some products that are still good and just need some love from somebody who doesn't have as much makeup, you know, onto somebody else. And I want to keep doing these declutters throughout the year and just get better at having a more curated collection of products that I know I love. I'm going to try to go through my collection, and if I don't know how I feel about a product, to test it out this year, and if it doesn't work, then I can get it to somebody else or declutter it, whatever it may be. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe, and we will see you in my next one. Bye.